Hi, I'm Sylvia from Vintage Kitchen Vixen, where I share tips for simple living, creating memorable gatherings, and preparing wholesome and traditional recipes with a vintage twist. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make duck prosciutto. Isn't that crazy? Duck prosciutto of all things. Duck ham. Who doesn't love prosciutto? And you know what? If you don't eat pork, or if you have like guests who don't eat pork and you're expecting to have a party, duck prosciutto is a really fun thing to serve and to include on a charcuterie platter, or you can even have it as an appetizer to serve it on a bed of arugula, maybe a little bit of parm and lemon. It's such a good way to start a meal. Another way that you can serve this as an appetizer is the same way you would with ham prosciutto, and that's by wrapping it up around a piece of melon and maybe just drizzling a little bit balsamic on the plate just to have something to dip it into. But you don't even have to bother with the balsamic, like it's just melon and prosciutto is so good. Now, curing is like one of those old-fashioned skills that a lot of us don't do and we don't even think of. A number of years ago, I got my husband a book for his birthday that he largely left untouched, but he made one recipe for it, and it was duck prosciutto. And this is the book that I'm referencing, and I'm going to be reading through this book because it looks really cool. They teach you how to make different appetizers. They teach you how to make sausages and terrine and rillettes and sauces and confits and all kinds of cool things, especially like with the cured meats. Like, you never know what you're gonna get at the grocery store, and you can't even speak to the quality of the meat. So I think it's really cool to be able to make your own and to be self-sufficient in that way. And I think a great way to get started is with something like duck prosciutto, which is what I am getting started with. But I just really wanted to share that journey with you. I'm using their recipe because, you know, left to my own devices, I wouldn't even know where to begin with making my own cured meats. The duck prosciutto, the first thing that you do, as you saw, you get it in salt, and usually you want about 2 cups. Maybe your container is on the smaller side, and then you can just use less salt and still have that duck breast covered. And usually duck breasts have like a little tender, so just make sure you split it up. And then when you're putting them in salt, just make sure that you keep them separated. You don't want them touching each other. You just need to be full contact with the salt. So you put salt on the bottom, you put the duck breast in, and then you cover them with the rest of the salt as much as you need. You don't need to use the full amount of salt if you don't need it. And then from there, it goes in the fridge and you let it do its thing for 24 hours. And then after that, you take it out and you rinse all the salt off. And this is very important. You don't want it to go over 24 hours because the first time that my husband made this, he let 48 hours pass, and the longer that it sits in the saltier it's going to get, because that salt is going to permeate skin deep. So just bear that in mind. 24 hours is enough time for it to sit in salt. And then you rinse it, you pat it dry, and then you season it with pepper. You can season it with other things. I like using black pepper, that's what I have. They say fresh ground white pepper. I don't have white pepper seeds. I should probably check my favorite local spice monger and see if they have whole pepper, white peppercorns, but I just have black peppers, so that's what I use. But you can add garlic in there, you can do juniper berries, you can just play around and have fun. And then after that, you wrap it up in cheesecloth, you tie it up with some kitchen string, and then you let it hang in somewhere that's cool, like a basement or just somewhere that's away from everything. And then you leave it for 7 days, you come back. If it's still squishy, you let it hang for another day or two, because you don't want it to be raw. Like, you want it to be completely cured. And then after that, you can unwrap it and you can slice it up. You do it on the bias, and you want to make sure that there's a piece of fat with every piece of duck. And then after that, you can serve it and enjoy it. It does take a week and a couple of days to make, but it's super worth it. It's delicious, and it's a great way to impress your guests. Also makes a really cool gift idea if you really want to impress somebody and be like, here, I made you duck prosciutto. Other than that, that's all I have to say about duck prosciutto. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, hit the thumbs up, drop a comment, and share this video on social media. Other than that, I do put out 2 new videos a week, so I will be seeing you real soon. Thank you so much for joining me in the kitchen. Bye! Cheers. Wine and duck are excellent together. What? I said duck.
Oh, yes.
Duck and wine go great together.
Especially Pinot Noir.
I think it's apropos that I'm drinking a glass of red while curing duck.
Sure.
Yeah?
But it's not Pinot Noir.
Okay.
That you like.